Hey everyone, gather round because I've stumbled onto something fascinating, almost like a financial magic trick, happening over at Chelsea Football Club. You see the headlines, maybe? Chelsea reporting a profit sounds good, right? Especially after they've spent over £1 billion on players since the Boehly, Clearlake takeover. But hold on, how did they manage that? Well, let me tell you the story I've pieced together from the news reports circulating today, April 6, 2025. Okay, quick disclaimer. I'm diving into this based on those reports. Financial dealings in football are notoriously complex, things can change fast, and obviously, I can't show you internal club documents. This is my breakdown based on the available info, trying to make sense of this intricate situation. So the secret sauce to that reported profit? It seems Chelsea pulled off a clever maneuver. They sold off some major assets, reportedly their entire women's team, and even a couple of hotels near Stamford Bridge. Now, selling assets isn't unusual. But here's the kicker, they sold them to their own parent company, Blueco, the very entity Boehly and Clearlake used to buy the club. Think about that. Reports suggest this generated hundreds of millions in profit from the sale of subsidiaries on their books. Why do this? Well, it looks like a calculated move primarily aimed at satisfying the Premier League's profit and sustainability rules. The PSR, the Premier League rules, apparently allow these kinds of sales between related companies as long as it's at a fair market value. It seems this accounting creativity helped them stay within the spending limits last season, despite that enormous transfer outlay. Remember all those signings last summer? Sancho, Neto, Aderbio, the list goes on. Clever, right, maybe too clever, because here's where the plot thickens. UEFA, the governing body for European competitions, is apparently having none of it. Their financial regulations are stricter. They essentially say, hold on, you can't just sell assets to yourself, your parent company, and count that as real income to offset your spending. It's almost like selling your own car to your spouse and telling the bank you just made a profit to balance your budget. UEFA isn't buying it. And the potential consequences, if UEFA disallows that income from the women's team and hotel sales, suddenly Chelsea's financial picture looks drastically different. Instead of a profit, reports suggest their losses over the last 3 years could skyrocket to over $460 million. Way over UEFA's $220 million limit. That puts them in serious breach. So now, Chelsea finds themselves negotiating with UEFA, potentially facing hefty fines and, crucially, restrictions on future spending. There's even talk of a potential ban from European competitions if breaches happen again. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? How can you have such wildly different financial rules governing the same clubs in the league versus European competition? Doesn't that just invite creative accounting and push clubs to find these gray areas, these loopholes? Is this fair game by Chelsea, simply playing by the different rulebooks available? Or is it undermining the whole principle of financial fair play? What do you guys think? Interestingly, Boehly and Clearlake are reported to be calm about the situation. Is that confidence because they believe they operated within a set of rules the Premier League's? Is it a bluff, or maybe because reports suggest other clubs might be in a similar boat with UEFA? It's hard to tell. And get this, while all this complex financial drama swirls off the pitch, Chelsea have a massive game tonight, April 6th. They're away at Brentford, 8 p.m. kickoff. Does this kind of off-field uncertainty, the pressure from UEFA, the negotiations, does any of it filter down to the players on the pitch? Does it add an extra layer of pressure to perform tonight, knowing the club's financial standing and European future might be under scrutiny? It's a fascinating situation, the clash between billion-pound spending, intricate financial rules, differing governing bodies, and the simple reality of needing results on the pitch, starting tonight against Brentford. How much should clubs be allowed to spend chasing glory? Are these financial rules actually working to create a level playing field, or just making things more complicated? I'd love to hear your perspective on this whole Chelsea situation. Let me know what you think.